Who are you? Well, a lot of who you are is determined by the environment that surrounds you, whether or not it's voluntary. Having to be in isolation or working from home has decreased the environments in which someone would go through, for instance, sitting in several classrooms versus sitting in front of one computer. Hi, my name is Alexander Rodriguez, and I'm quite antisocial, so the lockdown didn't have a strong impact on me. However, I have two pets, a kitten named Toyo and a dog named Copper, that in a way give me life. Like most pet owners, I feel as if the company of an animal makes my environment lively and active. During the current epidemic, the need and benefit for owning pets has increased. And the 3 points I'm going to discuss in this speech is the negative psychological impacts of isolation, the effect that a domestic animal can have, and steps that can be taken, and why it is a good thing overall to adopt an animal. To get more specific, the negative psychological impacts of isolation can have a strong correlation in the development of one's psychology. Developmental psychology shows and can predict certain behaviors based on the isolation of a child and their mother. The psychological impact of fear and anxiety induced by the rapid spread of the pandemic needs to be clearly recognized as a public health priority by Serafini in the International Journal of Medicine. And later in life, isolation can result in things like cabin fever, which is hyperbolized in the movie The Shining. Pets were also a comfort animal and source of companionship and support, while also a source of stress and worry, according to an article by Herzog in Psychology Today. To expand on this idea and the benefits and the downsides of pets, we're going to discuss how pets can provide various tasks and routines for pet owners, giving them a chance to feel accomplished and making constant steps forward. Pets also, after a while, become family and give an individual the feeling of importance and responsibility. According to a survey by National Geographic, 87% agree that their animal has helped them emotionally cope with the pandemic. 37% agree that their animal keeps them active. 94% agree that they have a positive impact on their families. In the times of the pandemic, adopting a pet wouldn't have an effect on the transmission of the virus, which would be a concern of most people looking to adopt a pet from a shelter. Although zoonotic infections are a possible risk of animal contact, the greatest burden of risk of disease transmission from domestic animals is among farmers in developing countries. This is by Shernick in the Journal of Canadian Medical Associations. Steps that can be taken and why it is a good thing overall. Well, first you have to decide on whether or not a pet is for you. Responsibility is important, and you have to be able to provide food, water, and vet fees. And a lot of the times vet fees may cost more than what you were thinking up front. And other questions from the source, Best Friends Animal Society. What type of animal is a best fit for your home? Will you be able to live with pet hair, a litter box, or the occasional wear and tear caused by pets? In including these questions, choosing a species can help answer them. Choosing between an enclosed animal and an outclosed animal, an indoor versus an outdoor animal, and the level of maintenance required. Whereas some may be low maintenance, say like a lizard, and then a dog would be high maintenance. Adopting animals from shelters gives them new lives they may not have had. And I can say that the kitten I adopted, I don't think he would have the same life, if I hadn't adopted him. Because he has some medical things that, would make it kind of hard to adopt. In conclusion, the negative psychological impacts of isolation, the effect that a domestic animal can have, steps that can be taken, and why is it a good thing overall, are some of the key points discussed in this speech. And if you are feeling lonely or isolated, I encourage you to look at adopting a pet. And at least consider adopting a pet and whether they're fit for you, because they're not a fit for everyone. I would say for most, they can have a strong impact, especially if you're suffering from isolation. The care and effort you provide for a pet will always be more than the effect that the pet would have on you.